Hi, I'm State Senator Joe Markley. It's 9:30 on Tuesday evening. The Senate is in recess. I think we're about to go back in and perhaps finish up our business for this evening. I think anyone who's spent time up here at the Capitol would say this has been a very unusual session. There's perhaps been even more of the waiting around that one gets used to as a legislator and regrets and hopes to be able to change, but for the time being, that's the way we do business. Today, the Senate has been in and out of session. We've taken up a number of bills that have come up from the House, and we don't have too much on our plate, really. The big thing, of course, is the budget, and clearly the budget is not going to happen in the 27 and a half hours, I guess, that we have left before we adjourn tomorrow at midnight. That's regrettable, but I think that we made progress as a caucus by putting forward a proposal that has slowly attracted increased attention. This email includes with it, as well as this video, a link to our budget document and some information about it. So if you're interested about the possibilities that we've put on the table, I hope you'll check it out. I really believe that what we have could be the basis of a reasonable budget for Connecticut that does not increase taxes, that in fact cuts some taxes that we think will help keep people in the state, and that also doesn't pass the burden on to municipalities. It involves some difficult cutting. Having put off our financial reckoning for so long, what we face at this point is very difficult. And I can't say myself that I'm comfortable or happy about some of the things that we've proposed cutting. But I do feel that there's no way forward for this state unless we find a way to cut our expenses up here in Hartford without passing the burden on to the taxpayers or the municipalities. I was putting off doing this video today because I was hoping to be able to report to you on one fight I'm still looking forward to, which involves the Civic Center, the so-called Excel Center in Hartford. We have a bill that came up from the House, a Finance Committee bill, which includes bonding for the Civic Center, I think to the amount of about $70 million. It would be a first installment of the $250 million that the advocates of the Civic Center are looking for refurbishment. You know, I'm solidly against that proposal. I think, first of all, that it's not a good idea on its own merits, but I think it's a particularly bad idea when we just don't have the money, when all the money we'd be spending would be borrowed, and it would just add to the crushing debt that we already have as a state. So I have an amendment prepared for that bill, which I'll bring out if and when that bill comes before us, to remove the Civic Center funding from it. And I think there'll be broad support on the Republican side, and I hope support, or at least discomfort, on the Democratic side in supporting this expenditure when we can't afford the money. Tomorrow at midnight, as I said, the legislative session will adjourn sine die, as they say, without a budget. It means we'll be called back into special session at some point, but not really until a budget has been arrived at through negotiation between the governor and the four caucuses, the House and Senate Republicans and the House and Senate Democrats. When that happens and what that budget will look like, I can't say. All I can say is if it includes further tax increases or if it includes draconian cuts to our communities, there's no way I will support it. I will be back tomorrow after session ends to bring you a final report on how that closing night goes, and I'll try to keep you updated after session on what I hear about negotiations and how I see it going forward. I'm sorry I don't have better news to report to you, but in any case, I appreciate your interest in what we're doing up here in Hartford and your attention to these videos. Thank you.